So we will be resuming our meeting. So, break is the refresh button of a break. I hope you all press it. So listening to speeches, I got really motivated. And there was some energy in the handshake which I made with every speaker. Hence, I got confidence to tell my story of Betet Brem, Atik. So I belong to a Maharashtrian family, and my dad is a typical Maharashtrian. And had said so, if he says that today is 31st February, it is 31st February. You can't argue with it. You don't. Because the consequences are very harsh. Ask me. So it was a fine evening. After sem two vacations, I was at my home sleeping on my bed. My friend calls. I said, "Or way, kya?" He's like, "Bro, results." So I jumped out of the bed. And you must be thinking, this is my situation of weighted Viraj. But no, I knew I screwed up my exams. I knew it was very bad. So I opened the portal and looked at my marks. B plus A, B plus then I can B. So
Battle flex.
not flexing. So my CGPA was 8.2. For me, it was great. But my dad, no. I'm telling you, for me it was great. But my father, no. You must get 9 or 9.5. Then only he will be happy. I thought that. So I had to call my father because if he had known that I called me, the results had come earlier and I told him later, then I'm in a very bad situation. So I called him, ring, 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 my heartbeat, ring, ring, ring. But he didn't pick up. After 2 minutes, he called me back. This is my situation of waited there. Now I had to face my father. I picked up. Hello, I got my results. I got 8.2 CGPA. Oh, it's my time. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Nikhilesh. The story I'll tell later. Toastmaster Nikhilesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Viraj, for that wonderful session. I really loved it. To be I would like to hear more about the story, what happened on that phone call. But before we get on with that, it's time for the evaluation where we learn about our mistakes and improve upon them. So first up, let's start with the speech evaluators. Since Toastmaster Jasmita, she's not here now. She'll come in a while. So before that, before we get on with the speech evaluation of Toastmaster Shambhavi, we'll go to speaker number 2, Daksh. For his evaluation, we have Toastmaster Sanidhya. So please, everyone, Toastmaster Sanidhya.
Greetings again, everyone. So first of all, let's have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Daksh. Your icebreaker on point. Like it's very rare that people have such great speeches. You had very good eye contact. You had very perfect body language. You were confident. You were enjoying your full mood. You were walking around the stage, full confidence. Like kudos to you on that. Now coming to your detailed evaluation, you divided your speech into segments and compared it to a roller coaster ride. That was a great thing because when you are comparing things to real life examples, people connect to you and people get to know what you're talking about. Also, your speech had many comical elements. When you use comic stuff, people relate to you. They start connecting with you. You know, they realize what you're talking about. They enjoy the journey with you. So that was a great thing. Kudos to you for that. Now, a few improvements that I would like to incorporate. You used quite many phrases of a regional language, say Hindi. Sometimes you did give an explanation, but sometimes you didn't. For people who know Hindi, say I come from the north, so I enjoy those punchlines. Those were like great for me. But for those who don't understand the language, it's good. Like they do connect with you at that point. So it's good that you either give a translation or try cutting down regional languages, right? Other than that, I felt that your initial speech was quite long and you were trying to deliver it in the time limit because you didn't study the time limit beforehand. So you were rushing in between. And in that moment, you skipped a few segments of your speech, and that made the speech a little bit disconnected in the middle. Even though it was divided in segments, and when you divide a speech in segments, it's like always greatly connected. But for you, while you were rushing, it was being disconnected, right? And just that you have to have a little slower pace. Otherwise, it was a great speech, a great icebreaker. It was lovely knowing lot many great things about you. And for your next speech, I would like to give you a challenge to again learn the time limit and have a little bit more structured speech. And it was a great speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanidhya. That was a detailed evaluation. Coming to speaker number two, Toastmaster Daksh. You had humor in your speech, something we don't find in icebreakers. You're very comfortable with the stage. After all, you are the secretary. You should be. First of all, I would like to congratulate him because he didn't even know. Okay, yeah, you can have this. This is your time. Usually, what happens in Toastmaster meeting is a speaker decides when he wants to give a speech. But in his case, 5 other people decided that he's going to give a speech and he didn't even know till the next day. So congratulations on pulling off your icebreaker. Toastmaster Sanidhya, your evaluation. You did give the speech objectives, but they weren't very clear. And then you didn't tell the timer, the time limit. And then I want to know more about your introduction, the one you gave to Toastmasters, Viraj. But apart from that, your evaluation was very detailed. Since it was the first speech of Toastmaster Daksh, you could have toned it down a bit. You could have gone easy on him, it was easy, but probably you could have just motivated him to give speeches. The improvements were not required there. And then it felt like it was a bit lengthy. Your evaluation felt like you didn't have content to talk about. That's all for speaker number two and speech evaluator number two. Next up, we have speaker number three, Angelina, and for her evaluation, we have Toastmaster Ram.
So I'm back again with my target speakers evaluation. So yeah, you started off your speech really well, like really well. And the way you described Lal Bagh, oh my God, I could literally visualize it in front of me. Hopefully not the wrong things. And and your speech was really interactive, how you engaged with the audience. That was really great. And the hand gestures you used was good. And an introvert giving a speech really so soon. That's amazing. Round of the way you bark, like, come on, the dog would get confused. This is the friend calling us the human just calling. And yeah, I could totally relate with you the way he skipped JE advance. I was like, I joined Amrita already. I'm like, JE advance dena hai kya? Amrita, I regretted not giving. And yeah, these were the pros. So there are a couple of things you have to improve upon. Eye contact. I felt that you're looking into like only one part of the audience. I wanted you to like look around, like for example, you can randomly pick 3-4 people and just look into them. That's one way to get attention of the audience and be looking even more engaging for them. The second thing was moving around the stage. So there was one point where he told about the kindergarten, right? So we had moved back and told like back in that time about kindergarten. There was sort of a clear difference about the timeline. And for future, could have come friends or moved around the stage. That would really given a better emphasis to the speech. And voice modulation. For example, you're listening out things like you can give, for example, cheese, butter. So you can have given more stress and voice modulation. And that's all from my side. And anyway, great. You gave your icebreaker very soon. It took me 1 year to give mine. So another rounds of applause for her.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ram. That was a wonderful evaluation. Coming to Toastmaster Angelina, Toastmaster Ram has covered all the points I wanted to cover, but there's one thing I observed in your speech. You used props. That is something no one uses. Like we people who are giving L1 P3, people who are giving L3 P1, we rarely use props. But you came up with props in the very first speech, so kudos on that. You seem very confident, and you had your body language right there. That's one thing that you're standing still. The whole stage is yours. So next time, use it. Overall, it was a very wonderful speech. Thank you for that. And coming to Toastmaster Ram, speech evaluated. You did give the speech objectives, but they were not clear again. And then you forgot to inform the timer about the time limits. And then your speech, your evaluation was a bit fast paced. Next time, maybe try to bring down the pace so that whenever the speaker is taking down the notes, it's easy for them. And that was a wonderful evaluation. Apart from that, you can stop nodding your head. Next up, we have Toastmaster Shivansh to evaluate Toastmaster Alfonso.
Good evening, everyone again. And straight away, coming to my evaluation. So first of all, Master Hamza, and just tell you some positive. Competitive and then positive again. So right at the starting of the speech title, how you frame it and how you it is there, kind of gives a clearance to the audience and what are they interested enough. So your that speech title was maybe a bit cliche, but at the same time it's cliche for a reason because it does get the eyeball rolling. So kudos on that. Was a good speech title. And then next, the way he started the speech. It was a somber start, nothing too dramatic, but at the same time, nothing too underwhelming. Maybe you could have gone with a more high pitched start, or maybe start with a question so that you just grab the attention of the audience at that time. And then I really like some of the phrases you used in your speeches. One of my favorites was move and one. The words move together. And then going to the other place, you have to start somewhere and looking at hearing your speech. And right now, I will say that you did well at your start, and I hope you progress better. Now, just like every speech, there are some negatives as well. And coming to the negative, one of them was just like I am kind of right now. You were also stuttering a bit at some places, and maybe you forgot the speed, or maybe you just got nervous. So good thing at that time to do is to just start speaking anything, just to kind of fool the audience that you know what you're speaking. Sometimes you don't, but that doesn't matter. Trust me, I would know. And then the other thing that you can work upon is giving a conclusion to your speech. The conclusion felt a bit weak, maybe also a bit rushed. Maybe you got nervous, or maybe you just forgot your conclusion was. Overall, it was a pretty decent speech. And again, you have to take note that it was your first speech in the Toastmasters, and I don't think you have had much time in the club, right? So yeah, you did take up the speech role pretty quick. As Toastmaster Ram said, he's one of our best speakers, and even he took a year for an icebreaker. So kudos to you on that. So yeah, that would be all for my evaluation. Back to general evaluation of that.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivansh. That was a wonderful evaluation, like always. But there are a few things which you missed. One was telling informing the timer about the time limits. You did tell speech objectives, and you did motivate the speaker. Something I didn't find in the other speech evaluators. But something you can improve upon. Something is when you were giving your evaluation, it was a bit disconnected. You weren't solely focused on the speaker, and you used the word negative, which is something let's avoid using that because negative is a very big word. It's a heavy word. Let's try going with some. Why do you have to do that? Please. Let's not go with negative. Let's go with easy word, like places where you can improve upon. That is something which you can try and implement in your speech so that the speaker is motivated. Then coming to Toastmaster Alfonso, it was a wonderful speech. You seem to be a bit nervous, but that is completely fine. It was good. For icebreakers, it was very good. Nothing to be afraid of. Happens to everyone. We'll get better. One thing is you stood still. This is all the place you covered. Try going here, try interacting this side of the audience. Then you come this side. Come here, you interact with people. And that is all. Overall, it was a wonderful speech. Round of applause, everyone. Yeah. See you more on the stage again. That will be all. Next up, we have Toastmaster Sharanya. And to evaluate her, we have Toastmaster Vishnu.
It was not Nicholas. It was a really long time I came back to schools. I'm feeling which nice. Fine. Serena, Toastmaster Serena, your speech was really a great girl. It's beyond my expectations for an icebreaker speech. The best part of your speech is everything is very good, went very well in your speech. The best part of your speech, coming to the introduction and a conclusion. Introduction is very great. Conclusion is excellent. Introduction goes on like, welcome to my match. You interacted with the colors of the match. So you started explaining about yourself with mansion color by taking orange, yellow, and red. You explain your character with those colors, which is beyond your expectations for an icebreaker speech. I have ever heard of. Your birthday significance, national days, vision story, everything was explained very well. And then you explain your life with 3 rooms of mansion. First one, your childhood, the second one, your intermediate life, and the third one now. Your life, you said you have 3 rooms in your life. Hope your life become a Hilbert's paradox. Anyone might not know. It's a Hilbert paradox is a hotel mansion with infinite rooms. Those are very luxury. Hope your life will be a cherished tour. And you told your life is to be timid, unnoticeable, less interactive. But you only told it used to be, but not now because you joined Toastmasters. Hope your life will be better than that because you joined Toastmasters. And then the improvements which I want to give for you is seem a bit nervous in the middle of the meeting. So it can be even go on with experiences like giving many speeches. And also your speech was faster, a little bit faster sometimes. So give little gaps while you are speaking. So audience could react for your speech, and then you can go to the next line. Okay. And then one challenge I would like to give on you is interact with the audience. Ask them the questions, get responses, speak with them, and then according to their responses, you go and speak. And then another thing you forgot is after your conclusion, stand on a stage, give the shake hand to the expected TMOD, and then come down. This you forgot. Hope you do not repeat next time. And then I would like to introduce the Chinese word, Uji Bi Fan, which means too much of something is always bad for them. So all this evaluation is not for the icebreaker. So your speech was excellent, was very good. It's still your first speech. So please don't keep all my evaluation in your mind. You really ace the speech. Thank you all.
I think Toastmaster Vishnu, that was a fantastic evaluation. Coming to Toastmaster Sharanya, you had humor in your speech. You used the stage, but everyone did. You seem confident. I don't know, like, though Toastmaster Vishnu did say you were a bit nervous, but I felt you were confident on the stage. You had body movement, and then you had eye contact with the audience. I mean, that is all we as audience can ask for from you. So all in all, it was a very wonderful speech. Thank you for that. Coming to Toastmaster Vishnu, you did tell the speech objectives, but again, like everyone, you forgot to mention the time limits. You use the stage. So when a speech evaluator uses the stage, it is easy for the speaker, whoever he or she is addressing, to implement it. That is something you did. So hats off to that. And it seemed a bit monotonous. Your evaluation seemed to be a bit monotonous. You could have just added some emotions and excitement to it so that the speaker whom you're addressing has your attention. That is all. Next up, we have Toastmaster Sri Lalita, and the evaluator we have Toastmaster Aditya. Toastmaster Aditya.
Toastmaster Sri Lalita. If you are a tree, I am a human. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. So people start with quotes. People start with questions. But what Toastmaster Sri Lalita did was she started with the poem. I hardly see such kind of brilliant people. So it's really good. And you had a great usage of language. And I think that is your core strength. So you had a great usage of language. I have noted down a few good usages like symphony of electrons, boundless potential, intangible, heavens. I couldn't even complete them. You were going on speaking. So this is what I have written. So yeah, it's really good. You had talked about your hobbies. You had a good usage of body language when you said you pointed out a tree like this, and so it's really good. You had a good usage of body language, although it's really early for you to implement all those, but you had it, and that's a plus point for you. And also, you had talked about your. I mean, you haven't talked about your family much, but you have talked about yourself, which is really good because in an icebreaker, we are supposed to break our ice first and then talk about the rest. So that is a plus point. Just like when you climb a tree, you tend to fall down, right? So you have to improve and climb back again. So these are the few suggestions that I have from my side. You could have talked about your future goals, like what you want to ask, what you are aspiring to become in the future. So you could have talked about that. And also you could have talked about a bit more about your family, like you have your sisters, you have your cousins. Not much, but just 2, 3 lines would do it. So coming on to a few challenges that I have for you so that you can become a better speaker in future. You have started your speech with a poem. I want you to link the introduction and your conclusion so that you get a better a bundle that it will be good for the people to visualize your speech. Suppose you started your intro with a poem. I would like you to conclude also with a poem. You get what I'm saying? So it's better to do that so that you have the audience interaction and also the audience would not feel bored or deviated from your speech. So that is your challenge. So if you do all these and if you inculcate this in your future, you will not become just an ordinary tree. You will become a mango tree. Where people will wait. When will the mangoes come? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. That was a very humorous evaluation. You are the only speech evaluator who did mention speech objectives and inform the timer about the time limits. Something I would ask you not to do is telling about the good usage in the speech because let the grammarian do that job. And one more thing, something I want to implement when I'm a speech evaluator is talking in the lines of the speaker's topic. Something you did. So that is something for me to learn. Thank you for that. And next up, coming to Toastmaster Sri Lalita, you used the stage. That was wonderful. You had body movement, but eye contact. You did like you were very disconnected. You were lost in the middle. You were lost in the middle. I'm sorry. Thank you. You were lost in the middle. You were looking at the end of the room. You were looking here and there, trying to maintain eye contact. There were moments where you were looking seeing people, but make sure that you maintain that eye contact. You have that eye contact. When I'm speaking to you, like maintain the eye contact. Then you switch to someone else, and then you maintain eye contact and you move on. That is all. Overall, it was a very wonderful speech. Thank you for that. Now, coming to Toastmaster Shambhavi Zawari, she was speaker number 1. We have Toastmaster Jaspita Zawari now.
And Toastmaster Viraj said, Toastmaster Shambhavi, speak, speak, Toastmaster Shambhavi. And she really did speak, didn't she? Okay, the question is, does she speak? She spoke or not? You can answer it. It's not a rhetorical question. Did she speak or not?
Yes.
Thank you. The speech objective was a persuasive speech. What is a persuasive speech? I'm not going to give you a lecture. It's just about you convincing someone. In every day's life, you convince someone, don't you? Do you convince someone or not? I do convince someone. I go to my mom, even though the movie is really bad, I want to go to the movie. I tell her the movie is really good. More promotion done by the director or the actor. I do more promotion for that movie so that she takes me to that movie. So that's the persuasion that you need to do on the stage so that people will listen to you. That's something this whole speech is about. And I felt many of you were hooked to her speech. Were you persuaded to join Toastmasters? Do you remember her speech? There was a really good quote where she says, tissues to tears. I could see all of you smiling and laughing to that. Did you or did you not? Yes. When she started this speech. She started with an amazing. She told fellow Toastmasters and prospective Toastmasters. I feel that every person here is a prospective Toastmasters and you're yet to choose us. Are you going to choose us? Okay, this is a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer. Well, her speech was based on the persuasion. And as a VP education, we have a lot of roles in Toastmasters, and she did her part. She started saying about her incidences, and she had a pretty good comfort level. And as an L3E1 speaker, I could notice her changing. I remember her icebreaker. They say that evaluate the speech, not the speaker. Evaluate the current speech, not the previous ones. But I have seen her growing. And today at N1P3, I could see her amazingly using this stage. And I love the body language as well. I feel the persuasive speeches can be divided into 3 parts: factual, value, and policy persuasive speeches. She has used the facts, she has used the values as well. This is something which I loved in her speech. I could connect with it every point of time. But there are a few improvements as well. She has to improve. The points where you have to improve is that you have used the small stories. Fountain notes, don't make it a habit. But one point is know your audience, and when there are a lot of guests, maybe start building the story. Start with how you give your speeches, start building a moment of suspense so that people will understand your speech a little bit more. Okay, this is how the rules are taken in Toastmasters. This is how me or Shivansh can or other people can just back out at the last moment. I have done that a lot. Trust me, it gives headache to VP education. If you ever join or if you're taking a role, tell us a little bit before, is what she told me and every one of you. I got the message well and clear. And she ended with a beautiful quote. I hope to see you all. And I end with a beautiful quote. I feel it's beautiful. Say it's beautiful. I haven't thought it yet. But Toastmaster Shambhavi, I have loved your speeches, inculcate story building. You will going to have a lot of interactions and don't have these rhetorical questions. Take answers from the speakers. They let them give the answers for a moment or two, and you're going to go to create your speeches. Thank you. That's my idea.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaspita. Being experienced speaker, it is your duty, Toastmaster Jaspita, to make sure that yeah, okay. And you informed the timer about the time limits. You did not. You're supposed to do all that, but it's fine. And you were the only speech evaluator who had interaction with the audience, not just the speaker. That is one good thing you did. I have nothing to talk about because you are experienced speakers, big people. Toastmaster Shambhavi. Sorry? Okay, thank you. Coming to Toastmaster Shambhavi, eye contact, body movement, including the creation. Everything was there. Nothing to comment on. But one thing, I had a hard time to decide whether you were giving a speech or doing a job as VP education.
And I achieved my goal, right?
Yeah, I think you did both of them. I have no feedback, to be very honest. The page is full, completely blank. There's nothing to talk about, either the speech evaluator nor the speaker. So good job, good job. And then after the prepared speeches and evaluations for the prepared speeches, next up, I have my tag team. Will be here with will be here with the report. First up, we have the meeting for today. Toastmaster Ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nilesh. Well, coming to my review as a grammarian, so today I was disappointed that very less people use the idiom of the day and word of the day in their speeches. That's use the idiom of the day in a speech. Angelina used the word of the day in her speech, encomiums. Well, I'm very happy that even the Toastmaster of the day, Viraj, also used the idiom of the day in the speech he was giving in between. Yeah, regarding coming to their Shambhavi, yeah, in this in her speech in between one sentence, she should have used "I have talked." She have used "I have talked" in between the speech, and scheduled pronunciation got somewhat mistaken during the speech. And there was one more, yeah, verb was used before the subject in a sentence being used. And regarding the appreciation, yeah, a nice quote was used at the starting of the speech as told by a speech evaluator. And regarding that, yeah, he did very nice pronunciations in the speech he has given, and he used the idiom of the day. Yeah. And in a sentence he used they treated. It should be they treat. He used. Actually, it should be they treated in the sentence speaking. Yeah. And regarding Angelina, yeah, nice quote of her author was used in your speech. Yeah, Alfonso, a nice quotation was used. Sharanya, amalgam word was used in nice word. Sri Lanka, in her, I like the most, the nice speech I found was hers because she used very nice poems, nice quotations were used, and very nice pronunciations of each and every word. So, of course, grammarian would like that only. Very nice pronunciations, quotations, poems. Well, congratulations to all the speakers. Thank you.
do that. Okay, thank you, Gamaliel, Toastmaster Mangal. One thing I would like to tell you is whenever you're addressing someone, you have to address them as Toastmaster and their name. Suppose I'm talking, I'm mentioning you on stage. I say Toastmaster Nandi. I'm mentioning timer, Toastmaster Ganesh. I'm mentioning Toastmaster Hari, Toastmaster Aryan. So Toastmaster Aryan, our counter for today, please.
Hi everyone, I'm the outcome for today. My job was to find out how many crutch words and filler words everyone used. I noticed that majority of the people have this one crutch word that they use multiple times rather than many crutch words that they use one time. So I'm going to mention what was the major crutch word they used. And if you had less than three crutch words, then I will consider that as a perfect speech. So Toastmaster Viraj, the major crutch word he used was so and ah. Other than that, it was perfect. Toastmaster Jasmita had an almost perfect speech. Toastmaster Nikhilesh with the major frequency was ah, and otherwise it was great. The second highest filler word used was so. Toastmaster Ganesh used the touch word ah many times. Toastmaster Nandan used ah and well many times. Otherwise, it was a perfect one. Toastmaster Shambhavi had a almost perfect speech with almost many ranging like very less times. Toastmaster Sanidhya had the major crutch word he used was ah. Toastmaster Daksh major crutch word he used was you know, and after that was like. Toastmaster Ram, the major crutch word he used was ah. Toastmaster Angelina, major crutch word was ah, and perfect speech otherwise. Toastmaster Shivans, major one he used was so, which was only three times, so perfect speech. Toastmaster Alfonso, major words he used was so and like, otherwise perfect speech. Toastmaster Saranya, major one she used was so. Toastmaster Aditya, use the major so, otherwise perfect. Toastmaster Shilita, literally perfect, no crutch words. Toastmaster Vishnu, the major crutch word he used was so, and no evaluation is complete if I don't evaluate myself. So I think I've used so and many times. Other than that, perfect speech, yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ari. I guess I don't have to evaluate you now. You did the job. One thing is, whenever you're as an accountant, whenever you're giving the accountant's report, you try not to include the big three or usually the big four because they're the people, they don't have a prepared script. They have to talk according to the need of the audience, address the audience accordingly. So we don't talk about the CRPMs they use. Apart from that, it was wonderful. One thing is, whenever you're giving a report, you see the report, then you look up and then you talk to them. I don't go, hey, are you doing this, that. Apart from that, it was wonderful. You use to speak. I think that is not the argument for that we mentioned. Next up, we have a timer, Toastmaster Ganesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster English. So, first of all, awesome speeches and awesome evaluation, everyone. Just big round of applause. So, I will not be long. Just the timer, nothing much to do. So, yeah, I'll just get on with the times. So, first speech was Shambhavi. The speech requirement time was 5 to 7 minutes. She has taken 6 to 8 minutes within time, yes. And then it's Toastmaster Daksh. It's taken a bit towards the farthest extent, that is 6 minutes 30 seconds. That is just within time. So a great speech, by the way, really good. You were hilarious, humorous, nice. And then this Toastmaster Angelina, 6 minutes 13 seconds. Use the buffer time, pretty good for an icebreaker. Nice speech, great speech actually, motivating as in your terms. And then Alfonso, 4 minutes 49 seconds, good timing and really great speech again. So within time, yes, everyone's within time. I don't think I have to tell it for everyone. Good. Fine. Okay, the Toastmaster Sharanya took 5 minutes 37 seconds. Within time, yes, great speech. Sri Lalita, very captivating speech. I was lost. 4 minutes 55 seconds within time, yes, and I forgot to raise the green flag on time. That's what captured me. Really good. Thank you. And who else? The evaluators, I don't need to evaluate them. They've already been evaluated. This guy's standing here. So, yeah. So, you're evaluating that? No, right? Come on. Okay, Jaswita, President, she took about a long time, 3 minutes, 8 seconds. Within time, yes. Aditya took about, Toastmaster Aditya took about 3 minutes, 2 seconds. Within time, yes, again, Toastmaster Vishnu, 3 minutes, 6 seconds. Toastmaster Shivansh, 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Good timing. Toastmaster Ram, 1 minute, 51 seconds. Man, you rushed up, but that was good. Toastmaster Sanidhya, 2 minutes, 44 seconds. Very good. Those who took the buffer time is good. You're evaluating, so we don't expect you to rush. Do a great job. And that's all. Thank you.
Toastmaster continues. Your first time, it's fine. Happens in a test after.
Yeah.
It's Toastmaster Alfonso, I think.
Yeah.
It is Alfonso, not Alfonso. Apart from that, you did give all the timings. First time you messed out here and there, but completely fine. Happens. Okay, the meeting. The executive committee, what time did the meeting start? Yeah, okay. What time was the meeting supposed to start? Okay, you all are engineers. You should know how late we started. Apart from that, first of all, hats off to Toastmaster Sanidhya, who took up the role of Sergeant at Arms at the last moment. Just a second. So much to talk about. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Okay, Sanidhya, thank you so much for taking up the role of SA. You were the you were speech evaluator, yet you had time to prepare. You didn't prepare anything for the SA part, just came and you just gave it. That's how much you were observing in all the meetings. TMOD, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Viraj. First time being a TMOD, first time taking any part in a Toastmasters meeting offline. Wonderful. Hats off to your courage. The fact that you came up and took up the role of TMOD. No one dares to do that. I mean, you have to be very courageous and the fear bated breath. It was very relatable. One thing is you did not introduce the speech. You have to put Toastmaster so and so speech, and then you say there's a particular format which we are supposed to follow. You will do that, but it's completely fine. The first time you will learn a lot. And then there's something I would like to mention. First of all, everyone welcome back. It's the first offline meeting of a term. So that's great. We have a lot of improvements to take care of. As the executive committee, we have to make sure that some things are taken care of, which we did not do. On me also. And the group over there, that lot, the noisy lot. I was also part of that. Yeah. People there, you should not be hooting. I didn't do that. Okay. You are not supposed to hoot. This is a very professional meeting, so you're not supposed to hoot. So hooting is very informal and not so professional. And then all the people who are using phones, I mean, you can use phone. This was something we can't stay away from. But something, especially the speakers and the speech evaluators and the team, anyone who's taking up a role, make sure that you have a notebook. Because this seems to be way more organized. And you have a record of whatever improvements you have, whatever there is needed for you to take part. Apart from that, it was a very wonderful meeting. People are getting bored. I'm really sorry. Congratulations to all the people who have given the icebreakers. Your first one in Toastmasters, many more to come. All the people who have taken up the tag book. I think apart from 2-3 roles, every other role was taken up by a newcomer. So kudos to that. VPN is doing a very good job. Yeah, Sanita, Toastmaster Sanita don't do that. From that, it was a wonderful meeting. It was good to be back on the stage after a long time. I think it's been more than a month. More than a month, yeah. When was the last offline meeting we had? Apart from the open house. Yeah, 2 months ago. So it's good to be back. And let's enjoy this. And back to TMOD, Toastmaster Viraj.
So I'm back again. Okay. So audience, are you enjoying? Did you enjoy, first of all?
Yes.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to thank the audience for being so calm, and it was a great audience. So everyone give an applause for the audience first of all. The evaluator, general evaluator, tag team, speaker, speech evaluators. Everyone did a great job to make this meeting a successful meeting. Now, do you want to hear my story? What happened? So, when I was on a call, I had I got 8.2 CGPA. My dad, congratulations. I was like, what? What happened to him? Oh my God. Then I was not prepared for that. Then I got too overconfident. I was like, "Arey, no, yaar, it's not so good. I could have done better." And he's like, "What marks are these? What congratulations? What are these marks?" Okay. Well played. So that was the story of my father and me. So our theme, bated breath. It is a situation which is stressful, but at the same time exciting. So that's what makes it fun and memorable, isn't it? So my reason for choosing this theme was because this is one of our situational feelings, which mixes many of our feelings, and the result stays in our mind for a very long time. But no one discusses over this feeling. What we discuss, love, sadness, and sadness because of love. That's all we do. So I just wanted to make some justice with this feeling also. So before handing over this mic control to presiding officer Jaswinta, I want to address one last thing. From the time the meeting began till now, I was having bated breath, and it will end as soon as I hand in my mic to Jaswinta. So it was Master Jaswinta.
Good evening, everyone. How was the meeting? Not going to video. Okay. There are a lot of people. I see a lot of faces. I mean, when my term really started in the online, everyone was having holidays, and I didn't see a lot of audience. Today, seeing a lot of audience, my ex-com was dancing. You couldn't see their faces. You look at the lot and here. If you see, okay, look now. Look there, 4 people will be sitting. The badges. Just ask them how happy they were when they saw such a large audience. How happy were you? Today's meeting, there were a lot of icebreakers. Usually we have 3 speeches in our meeting and an impromptu session. But today I saw a lot of people coming onto the stage with a lot of enthusiasm and courage. I remember my first icebreaker where I froze on the stage. I literally forgot how my life was. It was very simple. I was born there, I grew up there, I am here. So it was a basic timeline which I made, but still I forgot. Not because I didn't know how to speak, because of the bated breath. I was with a bated breath. Later, I just started continuing taking a role every meeting. I was not a speaker who was really great. I see a lot of great speakers here in Toastmasters as well. They come onto the stage, first role, they just rock it. But for me, it took 1 year of serious every role in a meeting. I don't want you to do it. It was my passion, so I took a role for every meeting. I just went onto the stage, I spoke. My first meeting, I was just looking at my mentor. I didn't even look at anyone else. My mentor was really great. You both of you, I'm your mentor. keep a note of it. Where is my third mentee? Hi, mentee. Okay. So my mentor was very encouraging. He helped me a lot, and 1 year later, I'm here as your president and presiding officer. This is the story I tell in every meeting. Thank you for the PMC as well, and I have the voting link. So I'll be sending the voting link to you. There were a lot of participants, so you can vote for the best of all the participants. So most of you are in the group 2023 to 2027, which makes me feel old. Okay, I'll send you in that, and as well as the tab group, please go ahead and sit. By the time I'll be asking a few people to come onto this stage, give your, what do you say, that if you want to taunt us, you can taunt. If you want to say we were really good, you can say we are really good. I'll take compliments really well. If you want to see any critical evaluation, also Toastmasters is always open to critical evaluation. And if you want to join Toastmasters, Ram Akhatya can be please stand there. He is our vice president membership, so he will be taking care of all the membership. If you are really interested, you can go take his number. And you can sit.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I'll be sending you the. I want most of you to come here and speak, maybe not as clumsy as me, but any one of the guests, do you want to give us feedback? Yes, please, one of these. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Sai Raghav from ECE first year. So I was one of the audience up until now. Now it is my greatest red moment. So as a listener, everyone says the advantages of Toastmaster. You become a good speaker, but as a listener, I'm able to see different perspectives of the world. New people coming and talking about different aspects of life. That is quite interesting and intriguing, not only as a speaker, but I believe that if I can join Toastmasters or at least be in the audience, I will get I'll be able to improve my life better as a listener and build my own perspective. Then that's all. I want to waste my time. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Have you voted? Like, let's keep a track of the responses. What's the audience of the hall?
Send it in other gears groups also. It's not in first.
Anyone else want to speak? Should I pick? We have a list of names. Hey, come on to the stage. Yeah, come on.
I can see a lot of first years coming here. Glad to see first years right here. We came to the campus 1 year before and we were like clueless about how the things are happening.
happening, how the things are going to happen, how was the club activity that's going to happen. And there are multiple clubs that I experienced. And one of the clubs that I saw and I was impressed was Toastmasters. We had Dinesh last year, Toastmasters Dinesh, who was leading the club, and now it is Jasmita. So let me tell you how I ended up here. I was always not a part of Toastmasters. I've seen mails and messages about Toastmasters, but really not got to be here. But I came here for a work, and then I was pulled back by Nicholas and many other speakers out here. So kudos to everybody who's